some time. It's not something I've never sort of
Sure.
charted.
You don't really log it, do you? Well, I
but
can't
all of a sudden
yeah.
you realise you can't do it. You know, you're going to get up and think, oh, God, I can't do that, so you find another way of getting
All right. So is that ability to get up without it more comfortably, more easily, something that makes a difference kind of in everyday life?
Yes, and to me mentally as well.
Okay, yeah.
I think it's a thing, you can do it. So I think if I can do that, I can do other things. Mm. So that's what, I mean, I'm going to do a handstand before I finish.
Absolutely,
finish.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so that's a nice one. Now something else you certainly didn't come down for. You came down for a bit of fitness for little old ladies, to use your words, which hopefully you think you're getting as well. But what you certainly didn't come down for was any kind of martial arts or self-defence. You didn't come down here thinking, right, I need to learn self-defence, and you don't need to learn self-defence. But how have you found it in the fact that you are learning self-defence
I'm certainly far more confident in myself. I think I'm able to take care of myself, whether I actually would at the time, but I certainly have a go.
Sure.
I mean, I would not sort of stand and shiver and shake. I'd sort of think, right, you know, and certainly have a go at it.
Absolutely. Now, I often, when I'm talking to new people, explaining what we do, I often point out to them that although they're going to learn a form of self-defence as they're going along, which is a very effective form, for the 6 years or so we've been teaching Choi in Brighton, in this school, to my knowledge anyway, none of the adults have ever had to use it. Okay? Except for one. Jan, who was minding her own business on New Year's Eve, which was that? New Year's Eve 2009, sitting in a taxi. She's just got in a taxi, New Year's Eve, minding her own business, and some guys come along, tried to pull her out of the cab, and she's broken his grip. And that was enough, thankfully, for him to get a surprise and wander off. Now, that's been my one single story every time.
You want my story now?
No, 1 second. And I was telling that story one time in front of the class because there's a new person there, and I said, that's the only story we've got. And then you put your hand up and said, well, actually, so I've got one as well. So, can you?
Yes, and this is what my family don't know, because they always think I get myself into trouble anyway. Oh my goodness, mother's in trouble again. No. But I was in Canada in a very large shopping mall, and I can't remember what happened. My daughter wanted to get something in a shop. She hadn't got any change, so I gave her my purse and said, you go and get it and I'll sit down and wait for you. Okay. And a young girl came up, I suppose mid-20s. Obviously I should have, down and out is perhaps not the right word, but she looks as if she could have been homeless, she might have been alcoholic, she may have been a drug addict. She was not in the best form. Yeah. And she came up to me and sort of tapped me on the face and said, got $1? And I said, no, I'm sorry, I hadn't got any money, which I hadn't at the time. She said, come on, just $1. And I just went like that. And she said, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. I said, I was only joking. I said, so was I, you don't want to mess with me, but I'm not. And she just walked off and sort of said sorry and walked off. Sure. I don't know if it would have altercated from there, but accelerated from there, but I felt quite confident. I thought, oh, I sorted that one. Yes. And I didn't have to do anything. I just did that, and that was it. Just the sign that you were prepared and had something up your sleeve. I think if she had gone further, I might have done, because I was then pretty angry. She was very much in my space. Sure. Sure. So she was intimidating. Yeah, I mean, she was quite intimidating. Sure. Well, you know, just without the little. Yes, she was. I mean, she did actually manage to get some money off quite a few people. Really? Yes. I mean, I was sort of watching it. It was a tried and tested technique. Yes. Really? I think so. Yes, I think they do it quite a lot. Sarah got approached in another mall by somebody else, so I think it's. Yeah. Well, it's one thing to be approached, but it's another to stand right in someone's face. And sort of actually touch me around the face. And physically intimidate, absolutely. Even though it's a tap, it's still a suggestion of there's more to come, isn't there? Yes. So just to be really clear, when you did that, you didn't actually hit her. You didn't strike her. It was just the movement. Just like that. And I think the movement sort of. Absolutely. So I'm interested. So you didn't really have time to plan that. So no, it was just an instinct, natural reaction. Okay. So of course that is a technique that we teach you. If you're in what we call a close range situation, somebody grabs hold of you, you break their grip. And then that's a couple of years ago I wouldn't have done that. Right. I wouldn't have known what to do. I'd have gone, okay, so what's interesting is that it was instinctive. Yes. You didn't have to make any contact for it to get a result. No. It got the result you were after, which was she went on her way. Try somebody else. Excellent. And you say afterwards you felt quite kind of I felt quite confident and empowered. Yeah. So what's interesting about that is if you didn't have that skill,
it still may have come to nothing. It still may have been 2 taps and she may have wandered off. But what I'm interested in is what would your emotional response
I'd be shaking.
To that would have
yes,
been?
Yes, it would have worried me completely.
Sure. And do you think you would have felt a bit more kind of victim-like?
Yes, I don't feel I'm a victim now. I mean, if I don't often, but if it's sort of dark at night and I say I just wanted some fish and chips and I'm in my house by myself, I'll walk down the road and buy them, not even think twice.
Really?
You know.
And before, would you not have done that?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I have been more cautious recently since I had my hip and knee replaced. I know I can't run now.
Sure.
So I try not to get myself into
well, it's still nice to be cautious and sensible, isn't it? We don't.
I'm not generally cautious because I'm usually the one that gets myself into trouble.
All right, Kate. Well, look, fantastic, because you came down early. You've got a class to go to now.
Yes, I have.
And you've got another grade in on
tomorrow. Yes.
Fantastic.
Am I going to get it?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see, ma'am. See how you get on. So that'll be for your green belt senior, won't it?
Yes, that's right.
Fantastic. So have you got any goals for belts or?
So to go the same way, but go to the black, and I'm not convinced I can ever get that. Not so much. If I didn't try hard enough, I'd get the moves. I don't think I've got the stamina to take the length of time it takes to get it.
I'm convinced you can.
But I think my goal this year is to make sure the moves I do, are better. Because I know sometimes they're not all that. My swing kick is not great.
Yeah.
It's to work on the things that I'm not good at.
Okay.
That is a great goal. If I can get further up the ladder, I'd like to.
Sure.
But
okay, fantastic.
It's improving what I can do already.
Keep doing what you're doing and hopefully enjoying it. Quickly before we finish and get you off to class, what I should also mention is that you are now, of course, an assistant instructor. So, how long ago? About 5 months, 6 months ago?
About 5 months, yes.
Okay, so now you're an assistant instructor, you wear a blue uniform, which obviously denotes you're an assistant instructor, and now you're well into your development in assisting others in their development. How are you finding that?
I enjoy that.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I think I like, it sounds rather pompous thing to say, I think I like to try and impart some of my enthusiasm to other people.
Absolutely.
It may seem, sort of a rather pompous thing to say, but
it's nice
if I can pass it on to them, and there's one of them, I can't even remember who it was now, said, "You're a good teacher," and I don't think I am, because I don't think I'm teacher material at all, but she seems to think I can teach her. Yeah. And I think that is the way. I know that I pair better with some people other than
so
when I'm doing pairing, I can do better with other people, some people than others.
Brilliant. And you're meant to do background at the beginning, but what is your background? Because you're quite a little bit academic, aren't you? What's your?
Yes, I did a bit of nursing. I've done secretarial. I suppose the thing I did mostly was I had 2 houses in Coketown where I took in beaten up wives and children just coming out of care. Wow. At the 16, when they're 16 plus, you're in care, you are sort of discharged. And I used to take them in. Most of them used to come in, couldn't even cook a potato or anything, so we teach them how to cook and things like this. And I did that for about 12, 14 years.
Fantastic.
And that is I think my best thing I did.
How did you find that?
I loved it. It was very, very hard going at times with some of these kids that had got some horrendous backgrounds. But I became usually mum to all of them.
And very rewarding, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well, it's very rewarding. There's some you fail on, you can't win them all. Some of them are very damaged before we got them. But generally, there's still a couple that will come and see me and ring me up quite regularly, and that's been some time ago. And have got good lives of their own now, so I'm glad about that.
Fantastic. All right, Kate. Thanks for your time.